This is Bizzle Osikoya. You see, Bizzle is said to be one of the most connected music executives in the Afrobeats music scene. While his name might be new to some people, Bizzle has been around way back, since the days of Mohits, early days of Wale, and early days of the legendary Nigerian rapper Nato C. You see, as part of my documentary series where I feature young Africans and black people who are doing amazing things in their field, I had to catch up with the one and only Bizzle. In our conversation, he takes me back. He takes me way back to the beginning of the beginning.
I started off making social media pages for artists as far back as MySpace days, like Wale, the artist. Dr. Sid, Don Jazzy, and then I was also doing road manager for Nato C. Left Storm, started working at Mohits, moved to working with Mavin. Mavin, I was the first A&R, and then we signed DJ, Ckay, Davido, Ricardo Banks.
He also talked to me about some of the most challenging moments he experienced shortly after he left Mavin Records.
There were days where I was down and frustrated, and there were days where I was excited because my depression wasn't as a result of I didn't have money or I didn't have anything. It was just as a result of I didn't know what I was going to do next. I left Mavin without a plan. I left Mavin not knowing where next I was going to go to.
Building genuine relationships in the music industry.
Everybody can be friends, to be honest. Everybody can be friends. You run mad. A lot of people need to check themselves. There's so many people who say, Bizzle is my friend. But am I your friend? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of times
Join me as I talk to Bizzle Osikoya.
I started off making social media pages for artists as far back as MySpace days and Facebook group, like Wale, the artist. I made his first Facebook. He still uses it to now. But the Facebook page for artist page, I made that for him. I used to help a lot of artists do their MySpace page. Now design it. I remember I knew Sasha because she and my brother-in-law, they went to school together, high school. My brother-in-law connected me with Sasha, so Sasha introduced me to Dr. Sid, Don Jazzy, and I helped them to to design their MySpace pages and stuff. I met Osikoya as well. I used to always post videos on my Facebook page. What all these Tunde and all these guys do now. That was me back then on my Facebook page. I'll post Nigerian music videos. I'll post links to songs. I'll go online and look for pictures from events in Nigeria, share on my page, and from there started meeting people in the industry slowly. I never used to really post my pictures, so people didn't know what I really looked like. I was also doing road manager for Nato C. From there on, left Storm, started working at Mohits, worked with Mohits. It was in Mohits I finally fell in love proper with the music industry, and that's when I said, I want to be an A&R because I already did music business in school. So I said, what can I be in the music industry? Because I used to enjoy watch the process when Don Jazzy was making music. And they would say, this one is for one day, this one is for the band, this one is for Dr. Sid. Even when he made Under G, the beats, he said, this one's for Soskid. Called Soskid to come. That day, Soskid was so excited, came on voice.
You see, after Mohits Records broke up, Bizzle had a choice to make. And he made the choice of going with Don Jazzy.
I grew from Mohits, the whole Mohits breakup came, moved to working with Mavin. Mavin, I was the first A&R, and then, we signed DJ, Ckay, Davido, Ricardo Banks.
He would later part ways with Mavin Records, and the news actually did cause some stir on the Nigerian internet space.
And, from there, me and Mavin, our visions didn't align. Kind of a lot of things I wanted to happen back then, I guess they weren't ready. So, we parted ways. It was a big deal then. Somebody said on the internet and said, Don Jazzy fired Bizzle. And I was like, fire me how? I don't know where that came from. So me and Don Jazzy were bouncing on social media they say I fire you, how? So just I don't know where the rumor is coming from.
You see, after leaving Mavin, Bizzle experienced a very difficult period.
I went to America. I was in America. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just said, let me go to America and try and see if I can get a job. But then the summer, 2016 summer, that's why I can never forget 2016 summer. It was highs and lows. There were days where I was down and frustrated, and there were days where I was excited because I was also there with SARS. A-Star was there. That was the year of the first One Africa Music Show, Polo, Barclays Center, Whiskey performed.
But you know exactly what they say. When life gives you lemon, flip it and turn it into lemonade. You see, this experience would lead to the formation of one of the biggest music management companies in Africa, The Plug.
Then I used to go to Rock Nation office because we're close to Bi, who's Jayz's cousin, Brian Biggs. So we always used to go to Rock Nation to chill with him. Sometimes Tai would come into his office, we just all just. Bi was just saying to me and Issa, I was like, yo, you guys know so many people. Why don't you guys set up a company? You guys are the plugs. You have the connection between Africa and the rest of the world and blah, blah, blah. So me and Issa said, not a bad idea. We thought about it because we both had our individual companies. Then me and Issa were already cool because we used to do nights at 57. You know, we had like nightlife. Yeah, so we used to do Friday and Saturday at 57. You know, even there are a couple of tracks where you hear Olamide. I was like, Terimilo 57, Kalosha, Pelon or Bizzle. Then there was one other song too where there was one other guy took Peju. Peju used to also be at 57. So this is, you know, our initial plan was to like manage producers and songwriters and DJs. We didn't even want to do artists because
why was that?
We felt like, first of all, Issa had fallen out with Davido, and me, I worked with Tiwa Savage, I'd worked with Cass Beach, remember? Yeah. I just didn't enjoy working with artists. Me, I wasn't a patient guy. Like, if you today, Issa, I'll tell you, I'm not a patient guy. I don't like all these artists mess me. I don't know how to kiss artists like behind and just, you know, I always tell them like it is, and you know, a lot of them hate me for that because I'm not going to baby you. I'll tell you what you need to know, you know, and a lot of them don't like that. You know, they like when they are treated like eggs, babies. So I don't do that. As we started doing it, our first client was DJ Obi, and then next thing you know, David reached out to Issa and was like, yo, I think I'm going back to the basics, man. I need you to manage me and everything. Then Issa said, me and Bizzle are running the company, blah, 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 and everything. And I said, no, that I only want you because I started with you and we have that relationship. Like, yeah, and Bizzle have the company already, but you are the one I want to manage me. So Issa started managing David. And then David blew up with his songs. David started traveling, so Issa had to be traveling with David. I stayed back in Nigeria to build up the structure of the company and grow the company. And, you know, from there, company is 7 years now. You know, I'm super proud. It's like you have a child that you've nurtured and grown to, you know, 7 years. It's not easy.
And so I went on to ask Bizzle. I said, Bizzle, do you think London as a city has played any major significant role in the success of Afrobeats as it is today?
London has been very influential to the growth of Afrobeats. Big ups to DJ Edu and people like Abrante who, you know, push more buttons. And I'm not going to knock off people like DJ Abbas or Ade and all these people who did it on the low scale. They kept on fighting. They didn't care if anybody, you know, Ayashonaya and all these people. I remember back in the day, Ayashonaya and DJ Abbas, there was something they had called R70, where they used to do Nigerian section at the carnival and concerts, all these Nigerian Independence Day concerts, all these things. They used to do all those things, but they weren't able to get it to go mainstream. And then at the countdown ceremony of into the new year, when they asked to play a song, and I think it was DJ Edu that recommended the Bound Oliver Twists, and everybody started asking, what sound is this? What sound is this? And they said Afrobeats. And that's where the name Afrobeats came from. So for me, I feel like London played a very huge role in getting Afrobeats mainstream. And there's a lot of Africans here. It's the same way where jollof rice is so big in London now. It's like a lot of people used to be scared to say I'm African because they felt like people look down on Africa. But as soon as Afrobeats grew, everybody's so proud to be African. You see all the UK artists saying, oh, I'm Ghanaian, I'm this. Everyone's going back home in December, being proud to be back in the motherland and doing all these things. So part of where I disagree how London played a huge role as well is because let's not knock the fact that everywhere around the world, people had friends who were Nigerians and they used to take them to parties and this and that. So the music was already there. It just didn't go mainstream. But to be honest, but for the mainstream, London played a huge role.
Some people say that the music industry is run by cliques and carcasses. I wanted to know from Bizzle's perspective, as an OG in his own right, what do you have to say about this kind of statement?
I'm not part of any clique or any... I'm friends with everybody. Like, I'm the people's person. I still like all those cliques and things. It's just... Everybody can be friends, to be honest. Everybody can be friends. You run mad. I keep relationships with people doesn't mean they're my friends. You can't keep friends with everyone. You can't please the whole world. You have to understand that there's some people where I know you, who you are. If I see you outside, I'll say what's up. Am I going to follow you on social media? No. Am I going to come to your house? No. Am I going to call you? No. Because we're not friends. There's nothing that's brought us around to be friends. You know, we haven't had a reason to sit down. Maybe if we sit down in the same space and then we have a long enough conversation and I feel like, oh, this energy is amazing. I like this person. Let's build on that and let's get to know each other more. And then that will work. And there's some people that you meet and you just like instantly, what's your number? Let's start talking. Energies go a long way.
True.
And a lot of people don't realize that it's the energy you give me from day one. Maybe that day when I met you was a bad day and when I meet you the next time, the energy is better. But energy goes a long way. You can't be friends with everybody. A lot of people need to check themselves. There's so many people who say, Bizzle is my friend. But am I your friend? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of times we like to mistake friend and acquaintance.
Yeah.
We have a lot of acquaintances, don't mean they are friends.
Right.
You know, we're acquainted, yes. You know, you're my G. Me and you can talk once in a while. But doesn't mean we're friends. A friend is somebody that I can confide in. A friend is someone that knows about me. You know my mom, you know my dad, you know my family, you know things happening in my life. You are my friend. You know, you can't say I'm your friend and I've never been to your house.
Yeah.
I don't know what you like. I cannot even say, oh, on his birthday, let me buy him this because this is what he likes. That's not a friend. That's an acquaintance. And we need to stop throwing the word friend around here and there.
Yeah.
To be honest, we can't expect everybody to be friends. And the problem, and a lot of problem that I have with industry is that a lot of people don't speak up about things. And when people that speak up are bad people because a lot of people are not speaking about it. You know, and which is where I feel like I had a conversation with someone yesterday saying, why is it that a lot of people see things that are bad in the industry but look away because nobody wants to be crucified as the guy that's speaking out against this thing?
Yeah.
You know, in as much as a lot of people hate Joey Akan, sometimes he speaks about things.
Yeah.
You know, he might not do it in the right way he's supposed to do it, but he speaks about things freely. And let's be real, everybody doesn't have to be your friend. Everybody doesn't have to like you. Bro, trust me, like, I'll tell you something for free. It's like, there's situations where there are people who I thought were my friends.
Yeah.
And I did things for them. And then in my own turn, I expected in return. I
Never got it.
got anything in return. You know, and you just look at it that, okay, maybe that's how it is.
That's how they see you.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean the friendship is mutual.
Yeah, exactly. Let me give you an example. It's like boy and girl. Yeah, there are a lot of guys who lie to babes. I'm feeling
Yeah,
your
my
babe,
babe.
and the babe will fall in love. But
boy,
really and truly, the guy doesn't really like you, or he likes you, but not as much as you like him, and then you feel bad.
You see, a lot of people believe that in the music industry, when you stop working with someone very powerful or influential, that powerful person or powerful company blackballs you. As someone who's been in the industry for about 2 decades, I wanted to know what Bizzle's point of view on this would be.
I'll give you the example. So this is it. Our artist is signed to a label, yeah? And he drops a record. Who markets the record?
The label.
Who plugs the record on the radio?
Still the label.
Who plugs the record to the DJs?
Still them.
Exactly. The artist leaves the label. Who's supposed to plug the record?
I mean, their team, their new label or their new team.
Exactly. And their new team are probably their friends who have no idea of music. And they expect that, because the artist was a big artist, the radio should automatically just pick up the record and start playing it. It doesn't work that way. You don't plug the record on radio. You don't spend money. Maybe your label you were with, they were spending 20 million per release. You drop a song, you're spending 5 million, and you expect it to have the same impact as label. And then you come on social media. You're blocking my blessing. You gatekeepers. I don't believe in that shit. I don't believe in gatekeeping. If your music is good, no matter how crazy it is, they'll play it. I remember when Ricardo Banks left Mavin, everyone felt like, he left Mavin, he's in blackballed. He dropped Ozumba by the way. What happened? Everybody was playing Ozumba by the way. All the clubs, all the radio stations. Because they had no choice. It was a great song. So I always say to people, I don't believe in all those, they blackballed me, they did this, they did that. No. If your music is good and you have the right team marketing your music, then nobody can come. Let's be real. There's internet now. Even if radio say you are not playing your song and you all your budgets for radio, you put it into digital ads, your song will pick, and radio have what? No choice but to play your song. Because guess what? Radio need content, TV need content. And if your music is so good and you're topping the charts, TV and radio will play you, of course. So I don't think all that thing, Kakos, all those things, is people just say because maybe I had a song that blew up and then my next single didn't blow up, and because I spent money, Kakos, they don't want to play my song because I'm not in Kakos. I think, I'll give a lot of advice to people listening, artists, managers, anyone in general. I feel first things first, two things are very important. One, education. Second, proper legal representation. If you have those two things, nobody can cheat you. You know, a lot of artists are not educated, you know, and they bother not to educate themselves. They think, it's just about the music. I tell people, talent, music is just 10% of it. The rest of the work is the other things you do around it. Building your brand, you know, having a sustainable brand, building businesses around your brand to realize that one day, even when you stop making music, the brand is very, you know, easy to monetize. Look at the band. She hasn't put out any great songs in a while, but his brand is still very strong. Two-Face is the same. He puts out music once in a while here and there, but the brand is still strong. You know, and there are people in their time where you don't even remember of, and they call their name or play the music and say, I remember when he had that hit. You know, so for me it's like, look at the footballers as well too. A lot of them we don't remember, but when you talk anywhere, JJ Okocha, Kanu Wanko, those names, because they worked with people who helped them build the brand and not just, you know, the football they were playing, because they knew that one day the football will end. What will happen when the football is done? So it's like two things very important for them: educate yourself properly and proper legal representation. And then this in general for artists as well, or producers or whatever, songwriters, you need to remember one day the music will stop. What's next from there? Always try to invest. You know, invest your money into different places so that, you know, when even there's no big records anymore, you're still coming back. They still have income coming in.
You've been watching the second episode of my documentary series titled Made by Us. The first one features the very, very controversial Kojo Sheldon.
By the way I approach things, people feel like I'm arrogant or proud. No, bro. If I tell you I'm the greatest to ever do it in new media in our country, it is true because I've done it.
One of my favorite content creators on the African continent. I will continue to put out weekly videos featuring some of the most brilliant Africans and Black people that I know personally, and also the ones that I've been able to build connections with in the course of filming this documentary. This is going to be a weekly thing where I post one episode per week, and I'd really love for you guys to be a part of this, so don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn your notifications on, and most importantly, shout out to all of the new subscribers that we've recently got. Really appreciate the love, the comment, the interaction. Till next time, guys, this is Made by Us.
It's my favorite Oxlade with Dave. This one is called Intoxicated. If you want to hear or see any of the tracks we're playing this show, head over to our Twitter at AfroNation Show. I'm tweeting every single song.
Honestly, when I saw Don Jazzy, there was this instant feeling that I had that things were going to change for me.
You recently got your first Grammy nomination. The same year where you got your 1 billion mark.
If I have to talk about my head in an amusing way for you to laugh, I will do it. And that is content creation to me, and that is why I can't fail.
Welcome back to Performer Live Music Sessions. I am your host, Gracie May.
When we started, there weren't that many other Afrobeat shows, but we were like one of the only stops that you would come to when you would come to the UK, because there just wasn't that many of us in a prime time spot.
This is your boy, Mr. Easy, and you're now watching Westside TV. Take it away.
All right, what's up, beautiful people?
Been able to interview over 250 artists: Davido, Tiwa, Yemi.
P-Prime was 16. I was worried. All of us were worried. It was just like, why are we bringing an underage guy here? Now, when I see that he's winning, you know, he's nominated for Grammys, I'm not surprised. I told him then, I said, look, you have the potential to be a billionaire before 25.
The summer, 2016 summer, that's why I can never forget 2016 summer. It was highs and lows. There were days where I was down and frustrated. Then I used to go to Rock Nation office because we're close to B.I, who's Jayz's cousin, Brian Biggs. B.I was just saying to me and Issa, I was like, yo, you guys know so many people. Why don't you guys set up a company? You guys are the plugs. You have the connection between Africa and the rest of the world.
I've had this idea for a long time. Finally, I thought, you know what? I'm going to put it down as a documentary. I'm going to tell the story of us as a people, Africans and Black people. With a culture that has been relegated and sidelined, made to feel like it's less than what it actually is. But in the last decade or so, we've seen these narratives being reshaped and retold. Made by Us essentially explores the individual lives of people that I consider to have contributed one way or another to reshaping and retelling the story of us as a people.